Hey everyone, this is Walter, and I'm back here with more stories I found on Reddit. Today we're once again covering probably mostly creepy stories from Reddit AmIOverreacting, which is the place to ask Redditors if you're overreacting to something or not. And I like to cover the crazy ones, so probably no one will be. Let's just get started with stories from Reddit AmIOverreacting. Am I overreacting, or was my boss creeping? I, 17 female, at the time 18 now, got a job at a buffet. My boss, 56 male, gave me his number so we could talk about work and training and stuff. Since he got my number, he would text me constantly. We only worked together for like 2 days, so he could train me, and during those 2 days we watched the first Pitch Perfect movie. He is apparently obsessed with Pitch Perfect. I didn't really like it, honestly. After those 2 days, I wouldn't be working with him at all. But he would constantly text me while I was at work, making comments about what I was doing because he was watching me on the cameras while he was at home off shift. Then he asked me to come over to his house on one of the days we both had off to watch the next Pitch Perfect movie. I found that really weird, so when he offered the alternative of lending me the DVDs, I accepted that to politely give the hint that I don't want to go to his house. He went out of his way to talk about how the age of consent wasn't a thing back in the old days. I prefer younger girls. He would also show up at the buffet every time I worked. This is already insanely creepy. No, a 56-year-old boss should not try to befriend his 17-year-old employee. And the shit with the cameras is horrifying. When I work, he is off, so he would go out of his way to show up at the buffet whenever I was there. He would buy me stuff. I never asked for it. He would just be like, "I saw this at Walmart and thought of you," and then hand me something pink, since he found out that's my favorite color. He noticed that I occasionally got an orange juice from McDonald's before work and bought a gallon of orange juice to keep in the mini fridge behind the counter. My breaking point was probably when I was eating some pickles and licked the pickle juice off a plate so that I could eat a coffee cake slice without getting another plate dirty. He texted me and said, "Yeah, lick that plate clean," letting me know he was watching me do that while he was at home. The grossest part is he then followed up with, "I had to go back and save a clip of you doing that." I was so uncomfortable I didn't know what to do. On my 18th birthday, I messaged him and told him off, and his replies seemed so manipulative, saying things like, "You're the one who said you wanted to be friends, and sorry for being nice." For the record, I never said I wanted to be his friend. I was polite to him because he was my boss. He was the one who offered to give me rides to work because I didn't have a car and didn't live with my parents, and I'm pregnant. And when he said he'd wear a mask in the car because he's sick, when he pulled up, he was wearing a Halloween mask. Not a mask that actually prevents anything from spreading, because apparently getting me and my child ill was a joke to him. I need others' opinions on this, because my friend says he's just a small-town old guy who doesn't know how to text, and he probably doesn't know what's socially acceptable. I feel like from any perspective, this is creepy. Am I overreacting? Sorry for being nice is definitely a virtue claim, and he's giving gifts too. Terminal case of being a nice guy. Yeah, you can't chalk this up to being old and out of touch. I especially like his lamenting about the age of consent being taken more seriously now. Settled. Yes, you win. Now I have to figure out how to do the other 2 Pitch Perfect movies. LOL. I'm not coming up to work to do that. Takes too many days just to watch one movie. What do you propose? Well, the only thing we could do for that matter is you may have to come hang out with me for a few hours on Monday. Unless you have an alternative? I don't want to creep you out though. So, or if you don't feel comfortable with that, if you have a DVD Blu-ray player, I have the CDs. I could just let you take them home and watch them. Up to you. See, he knows perfectly well that this comes across as creepy, but he's just gonna say it anyway. He kinda types like someone who would use creepy asterisks, though he hasn't. Yeah, I'd be down to borrow the DVDs, and I'll let you know my thoughts on the movie, Mr. Bard and Bella. Just make sure your player supports Blu-ray. Not sure if these are backwards compatible. I'll check when I get home, LOL. Sorry to bother you, but I have your money. I expected you to contact me for it, but you haven't. Sorry, I've been really sick, and I've been in bed basically all weekend. Would you be able to drop it off at my house, or should I ask my mom if she can come get it from you? I'll run it by. I'm about to get out. Thank you. If you could just drop it off in my mailbox, I'd appreciate it a lot. I had a couple more things for you also, but I'll try to get it all in your mailbox. Alright, thank you. If some doesn't fit, you can just set it on the porch. Okay. I don't really want to put a Sprite in your mailbox. I'll just leave it on your porch. I just hope somebody doesn't get it before you do. LOL, thank you. Also, when you get to feeling better, and before you work next, I want to talk to you about something, but not when you're not feeling good. Alright, sure. Money is in your mailbox, along with the other mail that is there, and don't come out of your door too fast. You might spill the Sprite. My mom just let me know she's in Missouri, and she's not going to be back till tomorrow afternoon. I'm trying to sort out a ride for tomorrow right now. I can come get you. Aren't you sick? No offense, I really need to be careful about getting sick because of the baby. Oh, yeah, okay. I hope you find a ride then. I'm not really sick like COVID or the plague. I just felt dizzy and nauseous, and for some reason I don't know. Maybe I was sick of people. LOL, there are many other illnesses other than COVID or the plague. Any kind of virus is bad for the baby. I'll let you know if I can't find a ride by the morning though. At that point I'll just deal with it, LOL. Okay, good night. My old butt is in bed. Good night. Find ride? I couldn't actually. Can you get me? Okay, I'll wear mask. What time you want me pick you up? He sounds like a caveman in that one. LOL, lick that plate clean. Just don't throw it away. Still people seated, huh? Typical. Things went smoothly. I just texted my mom to ask if she can, but she can definitely take me tomorrow. I won't. I was gonna put a dessert on it, but it had pickle juice on it. Hope you didn't miss a spot. Better make sure. I didn't want to get another plate dirty. Shush, LMAO. I had to go back and save a clip of you doing that. LOL, that was classic. Man, what the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah, better save a clip of her licking a plate. Nothing creepy about that. LOL, want to see? I don't see any vehicles out there yet. Is your mom coming to pick you up? Hey, Mike. I'm very uncomfortable with the relationship you seem to think we have. I'd appreciate it if you deleted that video of me licking a plate. That's wildly inappropriate. I feel very uncomfortable knowing you're always watching me on the cameras when you're off work. I really need you to back off and keep our relationship professional. Okay. But I'm not always watching you, per se. But I do like to check in occasionally and see the customer traffic, and also before I show up, I like to see what I'd be walking into. But sorry you feel that way. It wasn't intentional. I thought you said you would like to become friends, so my bad. Anyone else feel like he was watching her a disturbing amount, probably? Also, to be clear, there's nothing wrong with a teenager having a much older friend, necessarily. But this guy seems to think he has a chance with her or something, and she's really only trying to be nice because he's her boss. I would like to retain a professional relationship with you, as you are my supervisor. Suggesting I come over to your house to watch a movie is not appropriate or professional behavior. I'm stating my boundaries because you have crossed them multiple times. I appreciate you backing off. That's fine. Then also on that note, perhaps you need to watch how you say things as well. Saying you would like to be friends is different than what you are saying now. I'm not attempting to form any odd kind of relationship. Sorry for being nice. But it's fine. I can do that. You probably need to arrange your own rides to and from work also, as that's something employers typically handle. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. I was just going by what you said, so it's done. I never said that, and I'm not interested in arguing. I will 100% arrange my own rides from now on. Okay, I heard wrong then. Work your shifts, come get your money, and we will leave it at that. Sounds perfect. She can never really be sure this guy isn't watching her still. And did he really think she was going to want rides from him after this awkward exchange? This is wildly creepy, and his defensive reaction means he probably knew it too. Not overreacting. I'm sorry, he was preying on you. I thought so. He immediately started blaming me for his creepy behavior. Thanks for the validation, stranger. I had a very similar scenario with a boss when I was a teenager, weirdly also named Mike. It escalated to him sexually harassing me and touching me. I told him the same thing you did. It's inappropriate, I'm uncomfortable, it needs to stop. His reaction at first seemed okay, but very rapidly he went full retaliation mode on me, and even sent his friend to my house. To do what? I don't know, because I didn't answer the door. So be careful, OP, because situations like this can become dangerous. If you need to quit your job for your safety, then please do so. Also, tell people around you and show them these texts so they know you're in this situation if anything weird happens. What's up with these mics? I did quit. This was a couple months ago. I just didn't feel comfortable posting it until I moved. Yeah, the smileys in the first couple texts were already gross enough for a 56-year-old man to be texting to a 17-year-old girl, but then it just kept getting worse from there. The guy is 100% a predator. First of all, the excuse of "I was trying to be your friend" is laughable. Like hell you were, you dirty prick. He saw a teenager in a vulnerable position, evaluated the power dynamics, and went for it. Disgusting. Also, even if it were the case, a 56-year-old has no business trying to befriend a literal teen. This is creepy in and of itself. I'm so sorry that you had to go through it, but major kudos to you for spotting the signs early on and establishing your boundaries. I think this video might go a little long, but let's read one more story. Am I overreacting for kicking my aunt out of my house after she flirted with my boyfriend at my 17th birthday party? Okay, this is going to sound fake, but I swear it's not. So I, 17 female, had my birthday party last weekend. My mom was out of town for work, so I was allowed to have a small party at her house, with some friends, snacks, music, etc. My boyfriend, 18 male, let's call him Zach, came over early to help set up. We've been dating for 8 months, and things are great. Like, I really trust him. Enter my Aunt Crystal, 32 female. She's my mom's younger sister, and she's always been eccentric. She's really into astrology, drinks kombucha like water, and constantly brags about how she still gets carded at bars. She doesn't. She wasn't technically invited, but she just happened to be in the neighborhood and came by to drop off a gift. I wasn't going to be rude, so I let her stay for a bit. That's when things started getting weird. First she says to Zach, "Oh wow, your jawline is doing some serious damage. You sure you're not 25? And literally winks at him. Zach looked so uncomfortable, and I laughed it off at first, thinking she was just being awkward Auntie Crystal. But it got worse. She started doing little things, like sitting really close to him on the couch, twirling her hair, and asking him if he wanted a real woman's opinion on his cologne. Like, what? I pulled her aside and asked her what she was doing, and she goes, "Relax, sweetie. If he's worth keeping, a little competition shouldn't scare you." I saw red. I told her to leave immediately. She got super offended and started saying I was insecure and projecting, and that I clearly don't understand grown-up relationships. My friends backed me up. Zach looked like he wanted to disappear, and eventually she stormed out, muttering something about how my generation is too sensitive. My mom came back the next day and said I overreacted and should have just ignored her because that's just how Crystal is. Now I'm grounded for disrespecting my family. So, Reddit. Am I overreacting for kicking out my aunt for being gross to my boyfriend at my birthday party? Note, my birthday was June 26th. This happened last week. Update. Yeah, so this actually got worse. After I kicked my Aunt Crystal, 32 female, out of my birthday for being creepy to my boyfriend, Zach, 18 male, my mom basically told me I was overreacting and didn't have to be so dramatic. I felt so stupid, like I was making it up in my head. But then, she messaged Zach at 1:47 a.m. She literally DM'd him on iMessage and said, "Hey, I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable. You're just really mature for your age, and it's rare to find that in teenage boys. Hit me up if you ever need to talk." She added some random ass emojis. I saw the message with my own eyes. Zach showed me immediately. He looked disgusted. He blocked her. I screenshotted it and showed my mom. Her face went completely white, like she finally got it, finally saw what I was dealing with. She didn't even say anything, just grabbed her phone and walked out of the room. Turns out she called Crystal and told her she was acting like a pedophile and should be arrested, and that she wasn't welcome around me anymore. Whores, being whores, flipped it on me. Said I set her up, and I was jealous, because I know Zach probably wasn't into teenage girls. Yes, she actually said that. Now my mom's trying to do damage control with the rest of the family, but my grandma is saying stuff like, teen girls are too sensitive nowadays, and my cousin texted me, LMAO, it's not like he slept with her. So basically, I'm the villain now, for not wanting my grown aunt to hit on my boyfriend. Zach's been amazing through all of it. He kept asking if I was okay and said I didn't deserve any of this. I believe him, but I still feel gross. It's like the whole thing turned into some sick game I never agreed to play. Anyway, I blocked that bitch on everything. I told my mom I don't want her in our house again. Ever. I feel like I lost respect for half of my family in a fucking week. And honestly, I don't even feel like it was just about me. It feels like I had to prove to everyone that something objectively wrong actually was wrong. She's not a cool aunt. She's just a walking HR violation in vintage eyeliner. Yeah, saying you look older is part of the grooming process pedos use. Like, what the fuck? You are not overreacting. Switch the sexes around, and your 32 uncle is flirting with your 18-year-old girlfriend? That's a whole bunting of nope. Yeah, people would lose their shit over that probably. Anyway, it's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say about the stories or my content, make sure you let me hear it in the comments. I'll be reading them while the video's new. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more of the same, because I am on a roll this month. Big thanks also to my awesome patrons who help by supporting me more directly over on Patreon. It really helps me out. I actually found a bunch of creepy stories while I was trying to finish this video, but they were too long to use today. I'll probably be back with more Reddit soon. Have a great day, everyone, and try not to make any teenagers uncomfortable, like these people did.